Hey everyone! In this video we are going to investigate a country that isn't really talked about or visited often. This country is very large and sparsely populated. I personally find it very interesting due to its architecture and unique culture. Let's take a look at this unique place. This is Greenland, the largest island on Earth. Although politically linked to Europe and officially part of the Kingdom of Denmark, Greenland is actually located on the North American continent. Covering about 2.16 million square kilometers, the island is absolutely massive. If it ever became fully independent, it would rank as the 12th largest country in the world, larger than Saudi Arabia, Mexico, or even Indonesia. However, despite its enormous size, the island's population is incredibly small. Only around 56,000 people live in Greenland today. That means if you spread the land equally among the population, each person would have about 38 square kilometers, around 19 times the size of Monaco. When most people picture Greenland, they likely imagine frozen wastelands, icy mountains, and lonely, quiet coastlines. But what about the actual towns and cities where people live? What do those places look like? And what's life like for the people who call Greenland home? Let's take a journey around this massive island and see for ourselves. We'll begin with the capital city, Nuuk. Nuuk is the largest and most important city in Greenland. It's one of the only settlements on the island with more than 1,000 residents. Roughly 20,000 people live there. That's about 35% of the island's total population. The city has a unique and charming appearance, showing clear Nordic influence. One thing that stands out immediately is the city's colorful buildings. This tradition dates back to Danish colonial times. The colors once had specific meanings. Red buildings were used for trade, yellow for hospitals, blue for fish factories, and green for communication centers like post offices. Over time, people began painting their homes in these bright colors for aesthetic reasons too. The vivid colors also help homes and buildings stand out against the harsh, snowy landscape, which can be helpful in emergencies. Approximately 80% of Greenland's surface is covered by its ice sheet. This ice sheet covers an area of about 1.7 million square kilometers. This ice sheet isn't suitable for growing crops, so it makes sense that Greenlandic people live on the coast. The coast still has harsh winters, but the soil can grow crops at certain times of the year. Unlike most capital cities around the world, Nuuk has no tall skyscrapers. In fact, Greenland's tallest building is only 24 meters high. That's shorter than the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil, excluding its pedestal. This building is a shopping center that includes a hotel and office space. Life in Nuuk is quiet, peaceful, and mostly free from traffic or noise pollution. Many of the homes are fully detached and built as individual structures. Their design follows a simple Nordic style, focusing on maximizing natural light and retaining warmth during the freezing cold winters. Traveling about 320 kilometers north of Nuuk, we arrive at Sisimiut, which is Greenland's second largest city. Despite this title, its population is only around 5,600. Interestingly, that makes it the largest Arctic city in North America. Like Nuuk, Sisimiut features a beautiful Arctic backdrop and the same colorful, detached buildings. The city sits just outside the Arctic Circle. As a result, it experiences 24 hours of daylight in summer and 24 hours of darkness in winter. Now, if 5,600 people sounds small, the next place will truly shock you. Traveling 300 kilometers further north, we reach Kangamut, one of the least populated settlements on Earth. In 2020, only 11 people were recorded to live there. This tiny village once served as a whaling station and had a peak population of just 71 people in the 1980s. As opportunities disappeared, so did the population. Yet, the town still has an elementary school, which also includes the local church and library. With only a handful of residents, class sizes are likely just a few students at most. Heading 1,200 kilometers east, we arrive in Ittok, Kortoormiut, one of the most remote towns on Earth. It has a population of around 345 people, making it Greenland's 19th largest settlement. Its isolation is extreme, located far on the island's eastern edge and closer to Iceland than to Nuuk. Like most Greenlandic towns, it's filled with vibrant, colorful buildings surrounded by icy, desolate landscapes. There are no roads leading in or out of Ittok. Residents can leave only by boat in summer or via helicopter to the nearest airport, which serves only flights to Iceland. Living here is harsh, the coldest recorded temperature is -40.5 degrees Celsius, and the economy is based mostly on whale and polar bear hunting. The waters around the town are often frozen, so fishing is limited. There is some tourism through Arctic expeditions, but the town only has one guest house. Traveling roughly 1,600 kilometers northwest, we reach Kanak, one of the northernmost towns on Earth. Despite its remote location, it plays an important role both in Greenland and internationally due to the nearby American military base. Like other towns, Kanak has a Nordic Arctic vibe with detached, colorful homes. Just outside the town is the CTBTO station, a global monitoring site that detects nuclear tests. With about 650 residents, Kanak is the most populated settlement in northern Greenland. This number has remained fairly stable over the last few decades. Still, it is not the northernmost place in Greenland. That title belongs to Nanortalik, located even farther north. This tiny settlement has a population of just 43 people. The locals speak a dialect called Ittok, which is spoken by only around 1,000 people worldwide. Nanortalik may be small, but it has essential infrastructure, including an electrical plant, satellite TV and radio broadcasting, a store, and even a telephone service. Its school also serves as a church and a library. Air Greenland provides subsidized flights to Kanak, but Nanortalik lies 45 kilometers farther north, making travel in and out of the town quite difficult. If we now head about 2,100 kilometers southeast, we reach Nanortalik, Greenland's southernmost city. Nanortalik has just over 1,000 residents, making it Greenland's 11th most populated settlement. Compared to some of the nearly deserted places we visited, this seems like a bustling city. In fact, an Airbus A380-800 could carry almost the entire town's population. Because of its southern location, Nanortalik was one of the first places settled by Norse explorers and one of the last to be settled by the Inuit. Though it's still cold in winter, the climate is milder than in the far north. The coldest temperature ever recorded here is -6 degrees Celsius, while the warmest reached a pleasant 20 degrees Celsius. The town has a cozy and charming look, with traditional colorful buildings and a scenic church standing out in the landscape. Due to the relatively mild climate, there's even some plant life here, something almost non-existent in Greenland's northern region. Most of Greenland has an ice cap climate, which means it is permanently frozen and supports little to no vegetation or wildlife. However, Nanortalik falls within the tundra climate zone. It's still cold and harsh, but warm enough during certain months for plants to grow. Just southwest of the town is the Chingwa Valley, the only naturally forested area in all of Greenland. The valley is shielded from the freezing interior winds, allowing trees and other plants to survive. It's quite surprising, especially when you remember that the island is literally called Greenland, a name that usually brings to mind lush, green landscapes. So there you have it, a look into some of the most fascinating towns, cities, and settlements across Greenland. If you enjoyed this investigation of Greenland video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more geography content. And as always, thank you for watching.